Hello, 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 everyone. This is Jay Talks to You coming back with another video. If you could please do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe to let me know that you are here. First and foremost, I know I said that I was going to put out videos every week or every 2 weeks. But I think that it's been about 3 weeks now. And I honestly just had to be real with myself and say, Janice, with everything that you have going on, with returning back to work, with, holding down the home front, with the baby and everything, all of those crazy things, it's just not feasible. and, but I think that what I want to do, in order to try my best to keep to that goal is to, put my videos out in audio format and see if that is a better method. Because the idea of, having to prepare and sit in front of a camera and put out content, I just think that for me, that's going to be a little bit difficult to do for the time being. This is not an indefinite thing, but I just want to just see how this goes. And feel free to drop down in the comments to let me know what you prefer. And I'll still go with what's comfortable with me. But anyway, so a part of my random nature, with this video I want to put out today, I decided, in the spirit of being the random person that I am, I wanted to introduce another segment that I want to call My People, My People. For the people who know me, they know that I am a Nigerian American, very proud Naija babe to the core. Naija to the world. Naija no they carry last. But anyway, so yes, I am a proud Nigerian. And of course, I keep up with a lot of the things that are happening in Nigerian news, whether it be politics, and whether it be with celebrities, more so celebrities. So with that being said, I wanted to come to you to discuss the matter of Mr. Yul Edochie. For those who do not know, Yul Edochie is a very, very popular Nollywood actor. I want to kind of speak of him in past tense now, but that won't be fair. So I'll still say that Yul Edochie is known as a very popular Nollywood actor. He is well known for his signature voice. If you hear this man talk, oh my goodness. He has this endearing, sexy, baritone voice that when he speaks, you just want to you just want to melt. Um, yeah, so he's just somebody that has a very commanding presence. That's the man in this thumbnail, as you can see, the guy in the middle. Very commanding presence, somebody that is well known for his craft. He is a very talented actor, and I have to be honest and say, of all the actors in Nollywood, and I've been watching Nollywood movies since I was a kid, and I must say that one of my most favorite actors is Yul Edochie, and my favorite actress is Genevieve Nnaji. I hope that she will make her return to our screens one day. I am patiently and faithfully waiting. Um, so back to Mr. Edochie. He is also known because he is the youngest son of veteran actor Mr. Pete Edochie. Mr. Pete Edochie, one of his most memorable roles was back in the early days, where he played the role of Okonkwo in Chinua Achebe's movie depiction of Things Fall Apart. So that is where, to my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, where his father, Pete Edochie, got his claim to fame. And of course, since then, because that was in the 80s, Pete Edochie has been in several movie roles as well. He is also someone that is very highly respected in the Nollywood industry. He is popularly known as the Lion of Africa. And so because of the doors that he opened, this is another reason why Yul Edochie is very respected, because he comes from a well-respected family and people know his father very well. So, yes, so they're both known very well for their craft. Yul Edochie is also somebody that I admired very much because of how he presents himself as a family man. So the woman to the right is his wife, May Edochie. And May and Yul have 4 beautiful children together. And they had been married for about 18 years. May was with him when he got his early start in his career. I think even before that, when he had nothing, he had nothing. And so with the two of them together, they managed to raise a family and really be held in high regard. And in recent years, Yul won over our hearts again, when he decided to, and when I say our, I just really kind of want to speak for myself and but so he in recent years decided that he also wanted to contest for presidency in Nigeria. And I know that he garnered a lot of respect and a lot of support from the youth in Nigeria. And so although I believe when you consider corruption and just how things are in Nigeria, I know that it was a long shot for him to actually win. But the fact that he rallied a lot of support from the younger generations, that said a lot. So, as you can see, Yul Edochie is somebody that's had a long running career with no controversies or anything of that nature, until it was April of last year. He put a post on Instagram. It was a picture of him and a little boy. The baby looked maybe close to a year old, if not maybe more older. And he just basically said that, I want to introduce everyone to my son. I forget the child's name, but he introduced him to us as his son. And he said that he had this child with his second wife, by the name of Judy Austin, who is the woman to the left. And initially, everyone thought it was a joke, because I think that he made that post on April Fool's Day. So we thought, obviously, that this was a joke. But as time went by, and more information started to come out, it turned out that this was true, that Yul indeed married a second wife. Or at least that's how it was presented to us. So, of course, like I said, this sent shockwaves throughout the industry and the community in general. And the first thing I believe people wanted to do was look at May, his wife, and say, how did this happen? What did you do? It's very commonplace that when waves are rocking in a marriage, the first thing people want to do is point to the wife or look at her and bend themselves into a pretzel trying to figure out how to make her responsible. But so yeah, and in Nigerian culture, the idea of polygamy, it is not a strange or foreign thing. It is something that's very commonplace in culture. But obviously, in order for it to work, the parties involved, the wives, husband, everybody has to come together on one accord and consent to it. But according to May, this was not something that she was prepared for. According to her, this is not something that when she met and married her husband, this was never a conversation that they had. Um, she was never under the impression that that something like this would happen, especially considering the fact that they are Catholic. I know May was born and raised as a Catholic. Um, so that was part of the issue, is that's okay. So this was not something that was that she was prepared for. And it was also reported that, and this came from a um, Gist Lover. So Gist Lover is a popular Nigerian blogger. Faceless, though, no one knows if Gist Lover is a man or a woman. But he or her claim to fame is um basically outing celebrities when they're doing dirt. And so it was allegedly reported that Gist Lover had known about this affair that Yule had been having with Judy. And according to him, that a lot of people in the Nollywood industry had known about this affair for years. They even say that May, his wife, knew about it. And things were just, people just knew about it, and it wasn't such a big deal. But however, when Judy got pregnant, it was alleged that Gist Lover threatened to basically put Yule on blast. And so he decided to control his own narrative and get in front of it. And that explained the post that he made, introducing his son to us. And so he basically said that he just went to go and pay her bride price. And that was it. And so again, polygamy is a commonplace thing, but it becomes an issue when not all parties consent. And in this case, May was not on board for this. And the other issue with it is that prior to this, like we said, Yule was somebody that was very respected because of how he presented himself as a family man. One of the things that made me fall in love with him, was the fact that and when I say fall in love, meaning respect, was the fact that he, occasionally would always post, pictures of his wife, basically bragging about, how virtuous she is, how much of a good woman she is, Proverbs 31 woman, that she was with me when I had nothing, everything that I am today, I give her the credit, just doing what a husband should do, which is place his wife on a pedestal. So it was really shocking when he decided that, okay, if this is, if she was all of this to you, then why take another wife? And, another thing about Nigerian culture, and, I feel like these things are gradually changing. But one of the other things is that when it comes to a woman being married, um, one of the ways that society um, conditions a woman to believing that her place in a marriage or in her husband's house is not secure unless she has a child, and especially a male child, to carry on legacy, and carry on the family name. um I have my thoughts about that, but I'll get to that later. But so basically, yes. So this is what it's been, and since then, so this was about a year ago that all of this stuff came out, and it's just been just drama since then. And it's hard talking about this now because I have to go back and like recap everything that's transpired since then, which is kind of impossible for me to do. So I'm making an effort to just kind of touch on the key um things that have happened since then. So May obviously was not, happy about her husband, taking a second wife. And the way that she responded to it is something that I respect very much, even though she was catching a lot of hell. People were blaming her, people were asking questions, and she really didn't say much of anything. Um, she kept quiet, stayed behind the scenes because she's not an actress, so she's not in the industry like her husband is. So she's just been, quiet, just on her own, living in Lagos. And it was reported that Yule was spending a lot of time with Judy, I guess in her place in the East. Um, so I've talked a little bit about Yule and his wife, May. So now I want to go to the left and talk about Judy and her background for a while. So Judy Austin is not a big name Nollywood actress. I've seen a couple of her movies. I know that the first movie that I saw her in was with Yul Edochie, and I think it was called Native Wife, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so Judy is an actress, and she herself was actually married before and had two kids from her first marriage. And so it was reported that she actually left her marriage to pursue Mr. Edochie. And I know a couple of months back, her ex-husband um, came out to make some statements himself, basically saying that he's responsible for Judy being who she is today, that he put her through school. He paid for her to go to school to study. I don't remember what the purpose was. I mean, what the particular course of study was, but she always wanted to be an actress, and her goal was to, hit it big in the Nollywood industry. And so some say that that's the reason why she pursued Yule very hard, because she knows his standing in the industry, or at least at this point, what it was, and the family that he comes from. So obviously, she coveting everything that May has and wanted to take over her home, her life, and everything. um, but yeah, so she had a child for Yule, and some also say it's also alleged that that child that she has with Yule is indeed her from her first marriage. Um, Again, I can't say that that is true, but what I will say is that when I saw her ex-husband and I saw that child, to me, they look a lot alike. I don't think a DNA test was done, but for that reason alone, I don't see why you wouldn't do a DNA test. But anyway, so that's Judy. That's her. That's what's going on with her. And so like I said, it's just been a lot of drama since he came and made the announcement. And one thing that's irritated me a lot about this whole situation is that, like I said, May has been very quiet about the whole ordeal and hasn't said much of anything. But for the few things that she would post, Judy would in the same day, sometimes within minutes. It's almost like she's like stalking her page. Within minutes, if May posts one thing, Judy comes with like 100 extra posts, and everything is about, Yul Edochie, Yul Edochie, Yul Edochie. She's changed her name, Judy Austin Yul Edochie. Like, it's really annoying because I'm like, this woman is not, she's not fighting you. She's not dragging her husband with you, So it's like, to me, from May's account, if you want him, you can have him, and May made it clear that she will not be numbered in her marriage. So she does not subscribe to polygamy. And so yeah, I just found it annoying that it just seemed like Judy, with every post, and even Yule himself with every post, it almost seemed like everything was always in an effort to taunt and ridicule and embarrass, this woman. And so that's really what's been going on. And the online in-laws, as Nigerians like to call them, um, have been divided on their opinions about this matter. Initially, when all of this happened, some people were saying, May should forgive her husband, even though I never recall him publicly apologizing to her, in private or in public. But they were still saying, that she should forgive him and find a way to reconcile. Obviously, some other people were like, girl, go file for divorce. But either way, um, she remained quiet. And for those who were saying that she should reconcile with him, I'm sure that she was thinking that as well, because 18 years is not a few days. She invested a lot, she put in a lot. And I'm pretty sure that that's something that she considered. But then unfortunately, um, March of this year, she lost her only, I mean, not her only, but her first son, Kambili. He died just, like that. A child that never had any health issues, just suddenly died, shortly after his 16th birthday. And around that same time, Judy gave birth to her second child for Yul Edochie. And for my fellow Africans out there, a lot of people immediately, and I'm not going to lie, myself, I also thought the same thing. A lot of people obviously looked at Judy and started thinking, okay, blaming her and saying that she had hands, she was responsible for the death of May's son. And so, yeah, I for a slight second, I thought about it, and not gonna lie, I still, have my feelings about it. But it's just been a very unfortunate situation. And I feel that if there was any point where May was considering reconciling with her husband, I think that all bets were off, at that point that she lost her son. Um, because after that, the way that Judy and Yul continued with the taunting on social media, it was disgusting, and I never want to be the person who tells someone how to mourn, but my goodness, the least that you could have done was at least stay off of social media. But it just seemed like everything, the post, the showboating, everything just kind of kicked into overdrive even after that. So, especially with Judy, it's like, my goodness. I don't even have time to go through and share all of the different posts because there were just so many of them, and it was just just egregious, So, but anyway, so that had been what was happening, and May eventually ended up filing for divorce, and sued both Judy and Yul for 100 million in damages, and also had an order to basically ban her husband from the properties, the house, and everything that they have in Lagos. And since then, I would think the sensible thing that Yul would do is to hire an attorney himself. But no, what do? Just keep posting on social media, as if the court of public opinion matters. Um, and Judy has also upped the antics with putting out more videos and just basically getting upset with us as if we are responsible for the decline in Yul's career, because that was a consequence. That's the consequence of all of this nonsense, is that ever since that happened, ever since Yul introduced Judy as his new wife, his career has basically been on steady decline. Every time he posts anything, there's no insult that he doesn't receive. He's just become basically a spectacle, someone to be ridiculed. He's just lost all forms of respect, and has really brought embarrassment to his family name. And so Judy just came out and put out a couple of videos, basically upset with us, saying, oh, who are you all to tell him how to mourn? just speaking on things that I felt like she just had no place to speak on. And again, all of this stuff while May is very quiet until she came out with that lawsuit. They always say to fear people who are quiet because you just never know what they are doing behind the scenes. And so I say kudos to May. Um, so now all of this has been going on. Yule's family has been pretty silent. I know his brother Link had made a couple of statements a few times when all of this stuff first happened. But most recently, I think it's been maybe a week or 2 weeks now, his father, Pete Edochie, did an interview with someone by the name of Chudy. And he basically let us know that him and his family, they were not aware of when Yule went to go and pick pick a wife. And again, for my Nigerians out there, we know how much of an insult it is for someone to say that someone came to pick you, as if you're a prostitute on the street with no family. But yeah, no one went with him. And in Naija culture, when a man decides he wants to go and marry a woman, you marry her well. You don't go by yourself. Um, you go with your people. And Yule is not an orphan. He has a mother and father that are still alive and well. He has brothers. He has people that could have went with him, but according to his father, no one was there, and no one knew when he made this decision. That says a lot. And for Judy, I can only imagine how she feels, because she was also making post of her supposed father-in-law, praising him, especially when he had a birthday. She dedicated a post to him, but I'm just like, how do you feel that no one in your husband's family is acknowledging you as a legitimate wife? you know um that's got to be embarrassing, and obviously she felt something about it because she removed his post after he did that interview. But the other thing that his father brought up during that interview is he was basically, singing praises of May, saying that she's a very good woman. He was friends with her father when he was alive. He touched on, when they went to go and marry her for the first time. He was talking about how the reception that her family gave him, that they received him very well, and it's something that he will never forget, and just like I said, giving her credit. And he also said, which this is something that I definitely appreciate, is that he said everything that his son is, everything that was going on that was good about that marriage and the home was to May's credit. So I appreciate that he did that, because I feel like in a way it vindicated May, and it shut up all the naysayers who were finding a way to blame her for her husband's actions, you know. So that was the latest on it, on this saga, because that's indeed what it is. I know that this is not the last time we are going to hear about their antics. But like I said, I think it's unfortunate that Yule Edochie has really went from grace to grass, at this point. Somebody that was doing very well in his career and had to me, a stellar reputation in the industry. It's just amazing how, he just messed himself up like this by getting with this woman, and it's not as if she's a young woman that's in her 20s, you know. This is a woman that's been married before, has kids already. And not to say that a woman with kids can't get married again, but again, for my Nigerians out there, we know how this goes. We know the likelihood of a woman being able to settle down again, especially with a man like this. But a lot of people, because of the drastic decline in his career and his reputation, a lot of people feel like, okay, I agree that definitely Judy plays a big part in that, but I feel like he first and foremost is more responsible. I don't think that she should carry more culpability or liability than he does, because he's the one that took vows with his wife. And I some people again also say that Judy may have, jazzed him. For anybody else that's not Nigerian or not African and listening to this, when I say jazz, I'm talking about like voodoo, juju, and things like that. So people think that, yeah, that she basically gave him something to eat. He swallowed it, and he's hasn't been in his right mind since then. Um, to that, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that. But I will say that what I do think is that with all of his antics, especially with how he's been moving since he lost his son, um, I know they say people grieve differently, but I honestly think that sitting back and watching how everything is playing out, I've come to the conclusion that this is who this man has been. He's always been like this, but because he was with a woman who knew how to package and contain him, I'm talking about his first wife. Basically, she knew how to cover him up very well and make him look good. It's said that you have to be very careful with with the person that you marry. I'm convinced that there's a certain level of grace that she carries that caused him to do very well, and the minute that he decided to distance himself from that, 18 years of that, just in 1 year, look at all the chaos that has happened in his life. And with May, look at how much she has elevated. People knew her as his wife, but didn't really know much about her because she was always somebody that was very, like I said, quiet and behind the scenes. But now it's almost like she's blossomed. She's bloomed like a flower. She's getting endorsement deals left and right, and she's just, her star is just shining, and the opposite is the case for Yule and Judy, So it's just a very unfortunate situation. I do not believe that reconciliation is possible. I wouldn't even recommend it at this point. I believe that May is going to be fine. I do see people making comments that, oh, you have all these kids. I don't know how old she is, but it's like, oh, who's going to marry you again? And those kind of comments really irritate me because, especially with Nigerians in our culture, it's like, who's to say that she wants to get married again? Like, I hate the fear tactics. Like, why does a woman's existence have to be valuable inside a quote unquote man's house? Like, she's had her kids. She's been there, done that when it comes to marriage. So it's like, who's to say that she's not comfortable, just being on her own for the rest of her life? Like, why? Who would want to sign up for marriage again with that type of experience that she's had? And only God knows. Like I said, this arrogance that Yule has been displaying, this is not something that I feel he just came into. I feel like he's always been this way, but it just took the right woman to know how to conceal it. And now, everything is out of control and he's been exposed. And I honestly think that this man is so arrogant to the point that I don't think that he anticipated all of this happening. He probably thought that what was going to happen was that I'm just going to, do this and she's just going to accept it, especially again, being Africans living in Nigeria, what's the big deal? And I laugh at that because when May came out with this, when she decided to take them to court, obviously, like I said, I'm surprised that he didn't get an attorney, but that just shows how ill prepared he was. Because, like I said, he wasn't expecting any of this to happen. Um, so in doing a little bit of research about this lawsuit, I didn't even know that adultery is actually a crime in Nigeria. And I don't think anybody would laugh at me when I say that because um adultery is something that is so commonplace in Nigeria. You know, having a side chick is almost like having a cell phone. It is it's so um it's so widely socially accepted. It's displayed everywhere. Like, so the last thing that I would think is that someone could actually be legally held liable for that. But now that I know that, it makes me feel like, my goodness, you did not move well at all. You didn't do well um publicly introducing on social media, letting us know that you married a second wife and that you had a son, because that's direct evidence of adultery. Um I know that he didn't take Judy to court to marry her. He probably did it traditionally. Some people are saying that no, he didn't pay a bride price because she's been kept as a side chick all these years. You know, why would he all of a sudden go and pay her bride price because she has a kid? And I could see that because if it's been going on for years, you know, he probably also didn't plan that out well either. He probably just thought, okay, I'm just going to continue to have my side piece on the side, have my home intact, and everything is good, you know. But I guess Judy decided, you know, I'm done, you know, being a side chick, and I'm keeping this baby. So who knows? That's probably, you know, what happened. And by force, he had to go and pay a bride price. Um, so, but either way, it's dumb. It's dumb because you, again, now that I know that adultery is actually a crime in Nigeria, you legally married your first wife. You didn't just do a church wedding, but you also married her. You know, you did a court wedding as well. So you're legally married to your first wife, therefore um, giving her the pathway to basically wreak havoc on you in court. And I hope that she gets everything that she deserves and is coming to her, quite frankly. Um, so yeah, I this whole situation is a mess. And like I said, I know that this isn't the end of it. I will try my best as things develop to come in. I can't report everything because I'm like, they just do a lot of foolishness daily. So I'm like, there's no way that I can come on here and talk about this daily. But um for anything that's just like, oh my God, out of control, crazy, yeah, I'll probably hop on here and talk about it. But anyway, I've talked about this enough. You know, like I said, I'm introducing this new segment called My People, My People. When you hear that, then you know I'm talking about something in Nigerian news. But again, thank you so much for coming by. This is Jay Talks to You. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I am also on Instagram, Jay Talks to You. Thank you so much, and bye for now.